All right, welcome back to the season 2, episode 2 of the Dirt Beers podcast. We're your hosts, Beef and Sean. Sean, let's get the show started off with a
Mm.
nice beer talk. I know you already cracked yours, so
It's all
or
right.
you got
We'll
two,
have
but
another one.
we're
We'll have
gonna
another
we're,
one going. We're good.
we're gonna drink too, anyways. There's a lot to talk about. We've been gone for a couple weeks, and there's nothing short of stories to talk about in the dirt racing world. But Sean, how you been the last couple weeks? And just how are things going?
Good, man. Just waiting to get to the track and watch some racing. This stuff been getting wet up here in our way, so we haven't really had a chance yet. So hopefully stuff can get dried out and we can stop Mother Nature from ruining all our fun.
Yeah, it's up here has been a struggle. Nobody's been able to really get anything in, and it's honestly it's about the same for everybody. It feels like even in the States they're getting rained out like crazy. But we're gonna get into obviously it's been a little while, but we're gonna talk about everything, and we're gonna start with I-55 and the World Outlaws. They roll into the I-55 small bull ring. Can be anybody's game, really. If you qualify up front and you can stay up front, you're gonna be good. But it's also a track that breeds a lot of slide jobs and a lot of passing, so you really got to be on your toes. But Buddy gets the sweep at I-55. The car was on rails. It seemed like nobody was going to be able to touch him, but it had some good battles. But Sean, what'd you think of that race?
Both nights he wasn't going to be denied, man. It's one of those nights when everything's set up and the car's running good. He just a man possessed. He was going to do anything he could to win it. Um, and it's hats off to him, man. It's a heck of a start.
Yeah, he had the thing rolling, and like you said, he wasn't going to be denied. Nobody was going to get past him. But
No,
the one of the bigger stories from that weekend is Logan Schuchart and David Gravel getting together on the front stretch. A lot of opinions from everybody. We're going to give our opinions on what we think happened, but in my eyes, they met in the middle. David come down a little bit, Logan come up a little bit. They're fighting for the same real estate. Was it maybe a little bit more of Logan's fault? I would say yes, just because he moved a lot more up the track than David moved down. But in the end, they both go for rides, both tear up some equipment, but in the end, they both get back out there, and David wheels it. I believe up to a ninth place finish. So
ninth, yeah, yeah.
yeah, it was incredible to see, for the amount of damage that David had, the crew be able to get it back together and get it back out there. But did hear like some people complaining about, oh, why are they giving these guys so much time in the work area to get these things fixed up? They're appealing to David because he's the golden boy. He's gonna win the championship again. You know, it really it's different from every situation. Depends on how much cleanup there is to do on the track. Obviously, they're supposed to only be allotted 2 minutes in the work area, but if the 2 minutes if it takes more than 2 minutes for them to clean the track up, then they're gonna get some extra time. But
Yep.
it's still just impressive that they were able to get those cars back out there.
Yeah, it was really impressive. I thought the car was just jumped. He got up into the catch fence and just went for a ride. But yeah, like you were saying, it's all depends on how many cars are in the wreck and how bad the wreck is. And sometimes it's only a 2 minute cleanup and you're kind of SOL, but I think there was like 4 or 5 cars in that wreck. So each
Mhm.
probably took on the hook. So there's time he got to kill and gives the guys in the two pits there to fix them up. So it was good. Yeah, he finished ninth. I think Logan was like 12th, something like that. David finished on the lead lap, and Logan ended up
Mhm.
finishing a lap down. But still, very very impressive to get both those cars back out there and salvage a good points night.
Yeah. So I do want to talk a little bit about, there is a lot of controversy on the work, oh my God, I can't speak. I can't speak. Anyways, a lot of
Controversy.
people, yes, a lot of people are, on each side of the fence on the work area. Now, I know me and you are kind of on each side of the fence as I was a crew member, you in the stands as a fan. So I want to hear your perspective on what you think about the work area. And do you think that the work area should continue, or should there start being changes like high limits making to the work area, bringing it down to 1 minute instead of 2 minutes, and only if you get a flat tire? is the new rule that's coming out.
The high limit ones, it's an interesting change. I like what they're doing, but I think you got to sometimes give these guys a chance to like they can swap stuff out and like they can do top wing, front wing, and they can replace the front axle and swap out the right rear in 3 minutes. Like it's crazy. And we saw Gio wreck in Oshwegan. We went
Yep.
down there and watched him. The crew just pull the car apart and put everything back together, and it was like
Hmm.
we blinked and they were back out there. So
Yeah.
it's it's a little bit of give and take. I like the high limit because it's the minutes just kind of hey, if your car's tore up, you get your minute, but you're gonna come out and you might be down some laps. And but the 2 minutes is also nice where it gives guys a chance to maybe get a salvage a good night and make it even like who knows if David could add another 20 laps, who knows, he might have even been able to catch up to the front. Who knows? He's just that good all the time. So
Yeah.
it's I don't want to say it's situational, but at the same time it kind of is. Like I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't I don't really want to sit there and watch some random guy get the top wing swapped out and he's just going to finish 23rd. Like
Yeah.
if I guess you kind of you're I don't want to say favoritism, but like maybe there may be some of that in there. And I think that's what the guys come to see. You pay money to watch the big dogs. You don't
Yeah.
want to see them just wrecked unless something their frame is all bent up, and that's another story.
Yeah.
But if you're paying money to come watch these guys, you want to be able to have a chance to see them get back out there, and who knows what they can do, right?
Yeah. Exactly. I see a couple different ways, as somebody that's worked on sprint cars, when we had something go wrong, you want as much time as possible to try and get it done and get your car back out on the racetrack, and you see these teams help each other. Everybody's helping each other. If a car comes out, it don't matter if it's David Gravel, you got Carson Macedo's guys in there. You got Buddy Kofold's guys in there. You got like all these teams helping each other out, trying to get it done as fast as possible. So from a crew guy's perspective, you want as much time as possible, and I agree with the work area, but I also see the point of these guys are racing, and if something happens, like taking off the example of David, like he's leading the points, he gets in this wreck that looks like he shouldn't even be coming back out on the track, and they get it done, and he still salvages a good night. Where now it's like Buddy Kofoid or Carson Macedo didn't get in a wreck that night, finished up ahead of David, but David still didn't let them get too much ground because he was able to get back out and capitalize and make up some points and not
Yeah.
finish 24th or 25th. But the work area has been a tradition in sprint car racing for so long that I mean, I don't think you could ever get rid of it. I don't mind the changes that are being put out towards the work area, only having a minute and only if it's like a flat tire or something specific like that. Like if you cause your own misfortune and like smack the wall on your own or whatever and you break something, I like at that point it's like, should you get your 2 minutes or should you be like, if you can get back up before we go green again, then for sure, but if you
Yeah.
can't, then you're done. it,
Yeah.
it's it's
I agree.
hard. That's why so many people are on each side of the fence, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
I'd say
topic though.
I don't think there's a really wrong answer, right? I think
Yeah.
there's nothing gonna be perfect. Like it's situational
No.
in every situation because like you said, if you're just wrecking yourself and spinning out and hitting the wall, like
Yeah.
you're kind of SOL. But like when
Yeah.
just kind of it's a racing deal like that when Buddy and Gravel and Logan were getting together, you gotta
It's
try to give them a chance, I think, because of
yeah. Yeah.
just the
I
way it
should
is.
I always think you should have a chance. It's just,
Yeah.
like you said, it comes down to circumstance, I think, a lot. And there's always going to be the people that say, oh, they're giving David more time. They're doing this, they're doing that. Like, those people can just, no, nobody is getting favorited. Okay. It's sprint
No.
car racing. Anything can happen. It's just a circumstance, really, in the end. But,
Yeah.
talking more about I-55, just you see a couple of the high limit guys show up for this race, one of them being the 24 car. So Rico rolls in, and he's been hit and miss at I-55. Sometimes he's really good, sometimes he's terrible. This weekend, He was terrible. Misses both shows against the Outlaws, and then, of course, online, everybody erupts. Oh, the World Outlaws so much better than High Limit. Rico can't even make a feature. Da, da, da. Sean, what's your opinions on the 24 card not making both nights?
I don't know. Maybe he's not. Maybe it's a high or it's an outlaw show. Maybe he's not really trying to push hard. Maybe wreck his stuff. I don't know. Like who knows? If he just says, I don't got this. I don't maybe got the car tonight. I'm just gonna get out in one piece, salvage, blow it out a couple right rears, and save the motor and save everything else and get it back in the hauler and let's get back to my points race with the high limit. So I don't know. It's
Yeah,
you we kind of talked about it a little earlier about how this is the same position he was last year. We're kind of expecting him
yeah,
to light the world on fire, but like he's just it's salvaging, making good finishes when he is with the high limits. That's kind of what
yeah,
it comes down to. Who cares about that? I'm sure he wants to win the outlaw shows and to
yeah.
kind of shove it to him, but in the end, if you don't got the car or don't have the setup to win it, just what's the point in even risking it, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's definitely a little bit of that. He's got the High Limit Championship in the back of his mind. He wants to go for a 2P. He wants to win back to
Yep.
backs. Um, I think that plays a part in it, but I also just think, like we said, he tends to seem to struggle at the beginning of the year. For whatever reason, whether it was in his own stuff or now he's with Tony Stewart Racing, he's still struggling. And we got to remember, like, it is a new team, but not really a new team.
Yep.
It's all the Rico Abu Racing guys just came over to Tony Stewart Racing and they slapped a new logo on it.
Yep.
I mean, obviously, there's different equipment and some other different stuff that Tony provides, that Rico didn't have before. But it, I think, he's pretty much on par from what he was last year. He's currently sitting in high limit. He's third in points at the moment, and he's 40 back of Tanner Thorson. There's still a lot of races left in the season.
Yeah,
He
there's
is
still like
nowhere
50.
near.
There's still somewhere 50
Yeah,
races left.
he's nowhere
He's,
near out of the
he's
picture.
yeah, he's only got like one win. I think Reitzel's got
Yeah.
one or two wins, and I think Thorson's got
Yeah.
one, and so it's all it takes
Thorson's
is
got two.
two.
Thorson's
So
got
all it
two.
takes
Aaron's
is
got three,
yeah.
and
So all it
Rico's got
takes is a
one.
couple, maybe another win in here, and he's right in the
Yeah.
really thick of it. So
Yeah.
we're just
You know,
we're just used to seeing him up front, but when he struggles, it's elevated now because he's not in his own sponsored car. He's running Tony's TSR stuff, so it's a
yeah.
little bit more elevated, right? So I'm not too worried about it, but I would like to see him win a couple more races, but that'll
Yeah,
come.
and I think he will. I think you see latter part of the year he's gonna be just like he was last year, starts ripping them off,
Yep.
Just
Once
they're
stuff
just
starts
starting to get it.
drying out, and that might be what kind of when the weather starts to
Yeah,
get warmer. That's when he likes to get hot. So
yeah. I think it's just a lot of, what we see online and on social media is that the pressure's on because this is, Tony Stewart Racing, big team, you're replacing Donnie Schatz at Tony
yeah,
Stewart Racing. You should be able to set the world on fire. But, it takes time. Takes time.
yeah,
But uh the next thing I want to talk about is David Gravel. So for anybody that doesn't know, talking about Tanner Thorson and the high limit points, Tanner runs a all coilover setup car uh it- all the time. That's all he runs is his coil
yeah.
setup. All four corners are coil setup. So I'm scrolling through Facebook. Outlaws are at Tri City. All of a sudden I see a post from the Chaz. Picture of front of David's car. It's got coilovers on the front. I'm like, oh boy, here we go. They're up to something. So David, well, not I guess more Cody Jacobs, David's crew chief. Him and Chaz are buddy. They love to poke fun at high limit and not all that kind of stuff. But Cody decides they're gonna try coilovers on the front of the car for the night. Um, it's interesting that they would decide to do it. It probably is the time just because, David's David. He can wheel anything, but they also have a pretty big points lead.
Yeah.
So it was a time to try something. They were going to try it now, but,
Yeah, why not, right? It's early in the
yeah,
year.
yeah.
See if you
So,
catch the Tanner Thorson light in a
yeah,
bottle, right? But
yeah.
didn't work out too
So
well for him, I don't
didn't really
think.
work. Yeah, didn't work out too well. So he goes out and I believe qualifies 18th. So that's on like the 2 car. And then heat race, I think he was like 5th or 6th. He didn't make the dash, and then he goes out in the feature, starts near the back, ends up ninth. So for an experiment to end up ninth, I think it was not bad, but
Yeah, it could have
it
been worse,
just
but
yeah, it was just cool to see, it's fun to watch the two sides go back and forth on it, but I don't know, what's your thoughts on that kind of stuff?
it's the willingness to try it, right? Because everyone was kind of making fun of Thorson. I remember last year where he's like, "Oh, he's the only guy running coilovers, and he's running so good for during the beginning, the middle part of the year, and then kind of at the end of the year, he kind of started showing that he can really run in the front. I think ripped off a
Mhm.
win and a bunch of top fives near the end of the year. So I said, if you got David Gravel kind of taking a look at your stuff and say, hey man, I might be willing to try that, you must be doing something right. So maybe it is poking a little bit of fun. I don't know, but maybe he's wants to say, hey, it wasn't working for me the last couple of races. I'm tired of losing to Buddy, so I want to try it in something different, but it didn't
Yeah.
really work out too hot for him.
Not in the end, but, it's always cool to see. You never wanna stop seeing people try things or
Yep.
innovation in the sport. There's rules, but there's also a lot of gray areas in the rules books of these sprint car series, late models, modifieds,
Yep.
and people are gonna find them and they're gonna try stuff. Like that's the way it should be. And
Yep.
we shouldn't like unless something comes out and it like obviously makes something 10 times better than the entire field. But then
Yeah.
yeah, maybe we should look at getting rid of that. But I still think you need to let these guys try and find the edge because these guys are literally splitting hairs on setups and speed differences and like it can be that close
Yep.
every night. So it
It's
was kind of cool to
hundredths
see.
of seconds when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
Just like the other night, I can't remember what track they're at, but Macedo almost got Buddy or sorry, almost got David. I think it was right at the end. It was
Yeah.
like 5/100ths of a second or something like that. It
Second.
was like the front of the
Yeah.
nose, like the front of the nose of the car, and
Yeah.
crazy
Those are
finish.
the
But
best races too. Watching races
yeah,
like that when it
so
comes down
good,
like that.
so
Oh,
good.
gets
But
you
I
gets you
guess we
standing
should
up.
stay on the tri-state race a little bit because there was some stuff that went on during the last couple turns there between Buddy and Sunshine.
There was, yeah.
Um, I
I E right, give your opinion. Let's hear it.
I don't know, man. I never really seen Buddy drive like that. That was like he's kind of pissed off, I guess, behind the wheel, and he cuts the infield tire and blows right through it, and then hits the tractor tire and kind of wheel stands and hits right in the left rear of Sunshine's car, wrecks himself out of the race.
Yep.
Luckily, didn't wreck Tyler. He was able to hold
Yeah.
off and get the win, but like I was watching it and I'm like, this is gonna be an awesome finish. And then he just
Yeah.
kind of ruined it for me. It was just like, "Ah, man, like it was gonna
It
be so
was
good. It's gonna come down to the last corner and it was gonna be a drag
yeah,
race to the finish. And you
yeah.
just kind of got messy and just I don't really see him like don't see that from Buddy much. He's
I
really
know.
most of the time he's very poised and cool and waiting for his moment and he just kind of got a little too excited, I think.
Yeah. It was definitely I guess you could call it maybe a bonsai move to try and do that, but, I mean, in like I said, these guys are racing so close and so even sometimes that you gotta make moves like that to
Yeah.
try and win,
Yeah.
it's Buddy's job to win the race. That's
Yep.
what he's paid to do, so,
Yep.
he tried it, didn't work out. A lot of people say, "What are you doing? You're not even using your head out there, like, why would you try that?" And in the end, like, he was trying to win the race. So, and,
He was
it's
trying for what, 4 in a row too, I think? He was looking for 4
yeah,
straight wins too,
it
so
was
that was
for 4th in a row.
a little bit of that too, and who knows what
Yeah.
else is going on in his head with the high limit guys and stuff, and
Yeah,
but
yeah. Oh, yeah, that's another thing. You got a high limit guy out front leading an outlaw race, and he was trying, but
Yep.
did he overdo it a little bit? I would say yeah.
Yeah.
He overdid it a little bit, but it is what it is. Everybody
That
moves on. Nobody was hurt.
yeah, he's
A
it's
little
all
bit of
good,
a
everything's
destroyed
fine,
race
and
car, but
yeah,
it is what it is. He
yeah.
did that one to himself,
Yeah, you did,
but
for sure,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah. So let's talk a little bit of big block modified news. Um, the 99L Lightning Larry debuts the first ever Longhorn chassis big block modified. So I had heard some rumblings about this probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 months ago. And I was like, yeah, could happen. I could see it happening. Longhorn loves to do this kind of stuff. They got into started with late models and they got modified, UMP modifieds. Now they're looking at the dirt car Northeast stuff. So Larry kind of teases a video on his Facebook of the hood of the car, and then comes down to the front bumper with a Longhorn Dynamic sticker, and like you're like, I was like, this is probably true, like this is gonna
Yep.
happen. And then he kind of posts a full video of the car, and Longhorn was not impressed. Told him to take it down because they were getting a bunch of feedback and messages like, "Are you guys starting to build these full time?" To us, they had to put out a statement saying, this is just something we're trying. We do not have any plans on manufacturing Northeastern modifieds full time. So Larry got a little hot water over that one, but he debuts the car and it ran pretty good. Did he win? No. But this
No.
is a brand new car, they're just trying things. I know at Longhorn Dynamics, Joe, shout out to Joe. Known him a long time. He's been in the Northeastern modified game for a long time, and he's heavy in the late model stuff. But he works for Longhorn Dynamics, so I think he was kind of maybe helping Larry with steering the ship on this thing, and they did okay. But in the end, it's a test to see what can
Yep.
happen. But yeah, they're just gonna have to keep trying to fine tune it.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting. I think Larry's always trying new
Hmm.
stuff to make stuff work. I think for the most part, most of the guys in the Northeast run the Bicknell chassis, and I think I can't remember if it was last year, maybe the year before. Just glitched out a little bit there. Can't
You're
remember if it
good.
was last year or the year before where he just switched back to a Troyer chassis, and you don't really see many guys running Troyers these days. So I think
Yeah,
he was just trying something different to see what would stick, and gotta hats off to him, man. You gotta try stuff because there's the big dogs up front that you gotta try to be better than. So
yeah,
if it means he's in a demo Longhorn chassis car and maybe can win a couple races, who knows what can happen? And who knows, Longhorn might be saying, "All right, let's do it. Let's
yeah,
if Larry can do it, let's open it up to see what other guys we can get into it and how much money
yeah.
we can throw at somebody else to hop in the chassis and maybe win."
Yeah, it's for years it's really been one manufacturer, Big Null
Yep.
Racing products that everybody's running. You got your Troyer guys, and couple TO guys, but it's not like the majority is Bicknell.
Yep.
You do, like I was saying earlier, you like to see innovation in the sport, people trying different things. So hats out to them guys for trying it. Hopefully, it does work out. Maybe they give a little bit of competition to everybody else and see what can happen. You don't want it to become. I always kind of said the Super Dirt Car series at one point was just the IROC series,
Yep.
because everybody was running a Bicknell car and there was nothing else out there. But
Yep.
yeah, so it's good to see. Um Continuing on with the big block mod stuff, Matt wins the opener for the SDS at Albany Saratoga. So there was kind of a little video that came out of the top three. I believe the top three were Matt. I forget who was second.
De Lorenzo, and then I think it was Stu in third, I think.
Was it? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, De Lorenzo was
So
in second, I think, yeah.
they're doing the interviews, top three interviews. They get to Matt DiLorenzo, and I haven't seen the video. I've just heard. Sean, you've seen the video,
Yes, I
but
watched it earlier today, but
DiLorenzo seems to like kind of call out Matt for potentially running radios.
yeah. It was something like I don't have a quote for verbatim here, but it was something like there was a hole, and I think it was in the corner of turn one. Everybody was running into the hole, and then all of a sudden Matt was not Matt DiLorenzo, Matt Williamson was not running the hole before everybody else was. So he's kind of jokingly said, "Oh, maybe he's running a radio or something like that." But I don't know, man. But it's Matt Williamson.
Yeah,
They're gonna try to say he's doing whatever to make it seem like he's cheating and whatever. Man, he's just so good. Like you gotta just gotta get better. I don't know. That's other way to say it. Just
Yeah.
you gotta try to beat him, man. He's the class of the Super Dirt Car Series. I think it's kind of just he's the 1A, and then everyone else is kind of just a peg below him. Like it's just you're
Yeah.
always chasing him. I think now.
Yeah, it's definitely switching. The guards are switching for sure. It was Matt Shepard for years, and then
Yep.
Matt won his first, and then they were back and forth a little bit. I'd still say the top. I'd say your top. Okay, I'm gonna say top four in the Super Dirt Car Series right now are Matt Williamson, Matt Shepard, Alex Yankowski, and when Stu runs, Stu. I think those are your top modified guys right now. You know, I think it really just comes down to experience
Hmm.
in this situation. Like, everybody was running that hole. Matt just knew enough to get out of it and try something else because
Yeah.
obviously maybe it wasn't working or he
Yeah.
felt it wasn't working. I've never sat in a race car, so I can't tell you what you can feel, hear, see, but I just feel like there was more of he's got the experience. And not to say that Matt Lorenzo doesn't have experience, but I don't think he has as much experience as Matt.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's what
When
it comes down to.
Williamson's turned probably a bajillion laps in
Yeah.
3 or 4 different cars a year, right? And I don't know how many times to go to Albany, Saratoga, but I'm sure it's not Williamson's first trip there. I'm sure
No, yeah, he's been there.
he got stuff written down and knowing where to run and stuff and what you got to do. Like it's just say what it just got to be better. That's just kind of the way I look at it. It just
Yeah.
they're just when you're the top dog, they're always going to try to talk down on you and say you're cheating. And but I don't know. Sometimes what they
Mm-hmm.
say, if you're not cheating, you're not trying. So I don't know, but I don't
Yeah.
think Matt's running
No.
radios. But if he is, ban the radios then I guess too.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't like yeah. But anyways, so one last modified thing I want to talk about. It was just announced a couple days ago that Christopher Bell, NASCAR driver Christopher Bell, is gonna run a big block modified at Georgetown Speedway this month. Second car out of the Helmar Friesen camp. So Stu's putting him in a car. Excited to see what he can do. He's been talking about wanting to run one of these cars for years, so he's finally going to get the opportunity here. And yeah, Shawn, what's your prediction on Seabell? How do you think he does first time in a big block?
I don't know. It's tough to say. Like, if he's kind of learned anything from Stu, it's a hell of a guy to take some pointers from. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It might take him. He might not qualify well. Maybe who knows? Maybe we'll qualify well. Maybe the Stu's going to give him the same car he's got and just says, "This is what I do and this is what I run." And I don't know, man. If Christopher Bell's a wheelman, so I think you can probably put him in anything, and he'll probably be able to run it pretty damn good. So I think he'll run pretty well as long as keep the car in one piece
Yeah,
and get the qualifier in the front. Who knows? Can maybe give some of the big boys a run for their money, which would be good to see. Be
yeah,
fun.
yeah. It'd be sweet to see if he can get it up front. I'm saying realistically, I think he gets out there and definitely probably qualifies. I would say mid pack in
Mhm.
in qualifying. He's not gonna. I don't think maybe light the world on fire, but he's definitely gonna be better than some other guys just from pure experience.
Yeah.
But I think he gets a little more comfortable throughout the night, and I really realistically don't rule out him finishing in the top 10 at
I
this race. So
can't argue with that. Can't argue with
yeah,
that.
I think it's gonna be fun to see, and I hope this kind of maybe encourages some more guys to try it out. There's been some other guys that have shown interest in it. And there's lots of people with connections to the NASCAR world, and especially obviously Stu. But
Yeah,
there's other teams that have connections to the NASCAR world too. So it'd be cool to see. It's always cool to see these guys try out different stuff. So
for sure.
um, we'll have to keep an eye on it and see how he does at Georgetown. But definitely something I'm looking forward to watching. We'll jump back to the sprint cars here. We got our first look at Knoxville for the season. Obviously, Knoxville Raceway, home of the biggest sprint car race of the year, the Knoxville Nationals. Last year's winner, Ryan Timms, youngest guy to do it. Ran a great race. But, this recent race there, 2 nights on the card, had a lot of storylines, but the high limit was off this week. This is an outlaw sanctioned race, so a ton of the high limit guys showed up for this, so we got to see a true outlaw versus high limit race. And the first night, it's the high limit co-owner that puts a whooping on everybody's ass. The semi-retired, I'm just gonna race where I want to
Semi-retired,
guy.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
I like he's got this combination now with Paul Silva in this '94 car. I think wherever they show up, everybody better be shaking a little bit.
I couldn't agree more. He looks like he doesn't even look like he's been racing all year. It was like he missed a step. You put him, and especially when you put him in some of the best stuff in the sprint car world, anything Paul Silva puts together is a, an awesome race car. So I
Yeah,
think you put an awesome race car and you put an awesome driver in that race car. It just looks, and he won night one. Like, what
yeah,
can you?
yeah,
Semi-retired, but not retired because he's still
yeah,
running more than anybody else, really, probably. So
yeah. Yeah, it was good to see, that he can just I mean, he really this is the first year of him being semi-retired. So it's not like he
yeah,
has been out of the car forever, but it's just cool to see that when he does jump back in, he can still just, put a whipping on everybody that's running every freaking
yep,
night.
yep.
So good to see Brad get that win. So that we put that on the tally. That's one for the high limit guys, night one at Knoxville. Second night, Outlaw strike back. David Gravel gets the win. He was pacing the field pretty good. Doesn't surprise me, but I want to be able to see some more guys. I don't know, just be able to race against them, well, especially at a place like Knoxville. I want to see that somebody's chasing them down. Somebody's got an opportunity to pull a move to try and get the win, but it
Yeah.
wasn't the case at this one.
No, it wasn't. Gravel just so good, man. That's what else can you really say? And once he finds the line and gets the right setup in a car, like, look out, because
Yeah,
you're about to be just looking at his bumper all night.
yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, but that's all you can really say. He's good. He's so good, and hats off to him on the night two win. Thankfully
yeah,
that he was able to keep the high limit guys off sweeping the weekend. So I'm sure that had a little fire in his
yeah,
belly to do that. So
yeah, for sure. So next thing we want to talk about is actually there's a couple things that all kind of bleed together here. The ride swapping and rides ending and people moving around. It's the silly season
silly
just
season
keeps going.
in
And It
May.
it just
Silly
it
season
just
in
never
May.
stops. It
No.
never stops. Like I always forget what crew chief it was, but there was a crew chief that was quoted saying, the four easiest bolts to take out of a race car are the four bolts that hold the seat in.
Yep.
So, it's always lucrative, the seats in sprint car racing. So our first announcement came out with, I guess it's not really a firing of sorts, but it was a partnership that kind of dissolved between Bill Rose and Connor Morrell. Bill had been helping out Connor with some funding, parts, stuff like that. And they decided to split ways. So
Yep.
Connor still on the tour, still running. The most of the equipment was Connor's, so he's still running. And but I don't know how much Bill was helping, but
Yep.
obviously it was some or a pretty good amount. So what do you think of that split?
Yeah, I don't know, it's like we were saying before, it's tough when you got, like, was it 15 or 16 guys on the tour,
Yeah.
when you're not in the top 5 best drivers, you're all just kind of fighting for middle of the pack and hoping you can beat the guys that just show up on, like, a random night kind of deal, right? So
Mhm.
you're all fighting for 15th, 16th, 17th, 20th. Like,
Yeah.
it's if you don't have the setup or the money to put in, like, a Gravel or a Macedo or a Buddy or the guys with the big money that can afford to the free, fresh, brand new motors and
Yeah.
new tires every night and all that good stuff that it takes to win a tour, um, you're kind of just there's gonna be all these guys getting booted out, which is
Yeah.
it's tough to see because you're always just fighting for scraps at this point,
Yeah.
which sucks. But as long as it's good to see that Morel's going to be able to stay on, because I know he's got his own stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
He's not wasn't I don't think he's super dependent on Bill Rose, but that's the nature of the beast these days with this
Yeah.
stuff. So
Yeah. And our next one that comes out I believe it was the same day. It was either the same day or the next day.
That was pretty quick. Yeah, same. It
Yeah.
might have been the same day.
Yeah, as Scotty Thiel getting the boot from the 16C ride, and within 12 hours of that, we get the announcement that Skylar G is gonna get another shot at running with the Outlaws, and he fills in the seat at the 16C. So, what's your opinion on that shot? I know what you told me when it originally happened, but what's your opinion on it?
Oh, it's just you're fighting for 20th place, man. Like it's
Yeah,
just your
it's
like Skylar G, fellow Canadian guy and nice guy. I've had a chance to talk to him when we're at the Grove last year, and really nice guy. But it's I don't know, man. It's just
he's
you're
it's
you don't if you
hard.
don't have
Like,
it's hard when you don't have the best equipment, and what else can you do? Like he's a skilled
yeah,
driver. He can win.
yeah,
Just it's so hard, man. It's so hard to win on these tours. I couldn't
yeah,
imagine like just getting booted out of rides and sitting there
yeah,
at the airport with your seat and just going home. Like I couldn't imagine.
yeah.
But
No, I know.
I hope he's able to maybe find some magic. And but Scotty, like Steele wasn't even running that bad either. Like you're still middle of
No,
the pack
yeah,
kind of car. Like
yeah.
I don't know. It's
First year on the tour for the 16C team, and you got Scotty Thiel, who's a good driver. Just yeah, couldn't get, I guess, the consistency maybe they wanted. But then to put Skylar G in the car, I get it. He has experience running the Outlaws and the tour, and racing 410 sprint cars. He's also been sitting for like a year.
yeah,
He hasn't raced,
yeah,
and he's just going into this cold. I mean, you're gonna have to feel him out, let him have some time
yeah.
to get back into the swing of things. But, yeah, obviously we don't know the financial situation of the 16C team, but do they have enough to keep going? And like, yeah, you got the driver swap, but do they have enough to get to the end?
Like I think I'm pretty sure I saw that Thiel was like sponsoring part of the car too. I think there was
Yeah,
a Thiel, I don't know if it was haulage or something like that,
yeah,
decal
yeah,
on the side of it while he was running, and then now it's gone. So I don't know if Skylar G's got money to throw up and kind of be
yeah.
a sponsoring driver like Thiel was. I guess I don't know. I couldn't imagine trying to fund this stuff because it's
Nah, it's
like just how expensive
the
motors
money.
are and everything
Yeah.
else, man. You're
You
like
you you
it's
walk
funny
in
when oh go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, even you walk into Oswego Speedway on a Friday night, with no special thing going on, no nothing, it's just a normal night. The amount of money that is getting thrown around for weekly racing
Yeah.
I mean, Oswego's a top tier track, there's a lot of top tier teams that race there, but like you see that, and then you see an outlaw pit area or a high limit pit area, and it's even more.
Yeah.
Like these companies and these businesses and stuff that are putting out the money for these guys to race is just it blows the average person's mind. But like there's guys that are like me and you, like we're almost numb to it now. Like we've seen it so much. It's like, oh yeah, there's a hundred
There's a
and
hundred
twenty
thousand dollar
thousand
motor. Yeah.
yeah, there's whatever. There's a $120,000 trailer. There's a whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's just to the average person, it's wild. But yeah, it just yeah, you can never I really never comprehend the amount of money that just gets
No,
thrown around
well,
for
when we talk back to talking about Oshwegan, when the Outlaws came there and
mhm,
last year, Shield like blew three motors. Like he
yeah,
blew one in heats, and then he blew one up
and
just engine heats, like warming them up.
heats,
It
yeah,
just blew it up
yeah,
in sitting out front of the trailer. Like it just blew up. Like
yeah,
so, what 250 grand right there,
yeah,
and then he didn't
it's
even win. So like you're already a quarter million in the hole, and you've only been 2 days, and that's not saying tires and fuel, and you're paying your
yeah,
guys, and it's crazy the amount of money that gets thrown
it's
around.
crazy.
Like that's
It is
what I was
crazy.
gonna say was JJ Hickle was at Knoxville. He's taking all the used right rears home because
Yeah,
he's going to grind them down and use them. Like that's
yeah,
why wouldn't you?
yeah.
If these
You got
outlaw guys just
that's
use one use right rears and just throwing them out, and like I'll take advantage of it. Why not?
Yeah. That's another thing, that you don't always see is you see these big teams, but then you see the guys that are racing on a budget.
Yeah,
And they're still a lot of them still competitive with the big time guys, but
yeah,
Yeah, it will never cease to amaze me the amount of money that gets thrown around in this sport. But moving on to the next thing, obviously Anthony Macri had a little bit of a scary crash a couple weeks ago. Has some back problems going on. He's in a back brace right now, but they were named his replacement for the. I believe they have a 10 race schedule at the
Yeah.
moment, but Casey Kane gets back behind the wheel of a sprint car, filling in for Anthony Macri at the 90 or at the 39M.
Crazy, man. I would not. That's probably would have been the last name I think I would have thought that they'd be calling up to run the car. Um, awesome to see Casey back in a car.
Mhm.
Former guest of the pod, which is really cool. Was a
Yeah,
cool get to watch that interview.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, it's good to see him and back in the behind the wheel of a car and see what he can kind of do because Macri was lighting the world on fire. He's like he always does, so good,
yeah,
man. Like he's another guy that's so good that so he's that the car's good. So we'll see
yeah.
if Casey can kind of match what Macri did.
Mhm.
So it'll be good to see, that the car's set up perfectly to win. So we'll see
Yeah.
what Casey can do.
Yeah, it's kind of funny talking about this. Today in my memories, it came up that actually a year ago today was when we did the Casey Kane
Oh
interview,
wow,
which is pretty cool. That
that's crazy.
I saw that today. Yeah, but to be honest, I didn't think Casey was really ever going to get back behind the wheel. I thought he was, he's going to work with Dazen on this deal. He's going to let him run, try to make him into a caliber driver like Brad Sweet. But they came calling, and he said, you know what, I'm gonna give her a shot. It's only 10 races. Let's see what happens. But it is always good to see Casey can get behind the wheel of a race car again. Not hopefully they can have some decent runs and see what Casey can do. But so we'll get into now the kind of the bigger one that's recently just happened here. Um our guest from the last episode, Jacob Allen, has parked his 1A team effective immediately. Um Ashton Torgeson is out of a ride. Uh Not really sure where it came. Well, I got some speculation on where it came from. They had that incident the other night.
With Logan.
Ashton gets into Logan. They get in an accident. Logan walks over and seemingly seems to give it to Ashton pretty good, in the car. And then I'm not like who knows what transpired back in the pit area, but the next morning it's Jacob has parked the car, and Ashton is looking for a ride. So it was Ashton that broke the news first. He made a post, and I have it here, so I'll read it. Quote: "This is a hard post for me to make, but effective immediately, Jacob Allen has made the decision to park the team. I'm incredibly bummed, but more than anything, I'm thankful. I can't thank Bobby Allen, Jacob Allen enough for giving me the opportunity of a lifetime to chase the to a lifetime to wheel the legendary Shark Racing 1A and chase my dreams at the highest level. Together, we made memories I'll carry forward, shared a lot of laughs, and had some incredibly fast race cars along the way. For that, I will always be grateful. To my crew, sponsors, fans, and everybody who believed in me through this journey, thank you for standing behind us every step of the way. Your support meant everything. With that being said, I'm not done. My goal is to still stay on the tour with the World Outlaws and continue chasing my dream. If anybody has any leads, opportunities, or knows somebody I should talk to, I'd greatly appreciate any help. This isn't the ending, just part of my story. We'll keep pushing forward." End quote. So that's the first post I saw about it. Was from Ashton on
Yeah.
Instagram and Facebook. So from that post, what do you gather on the situation, Sean?
Oh, it's tough. It's tough to say. No one likes speculating. I think that
Yeah.
118 was on a pretty tight budget, I think. I think plenty of different factors. I think Ashen maybe not running very well for most of the year here, kind of tearing some stuff up a little bit and
Uh,
just not kind of not showing very well and times he hasn't wrecked. So I think
yeah.
something like he's got like 2 top 10s since Volusia or something like that. And
Yeah.
it's tough. It's tough to just kind of throw money away like that. But also it's tough on Jacob. Like he lost
Yeah.
his dad and We hope everything's okay with him.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
that's the big thing. As long hopefully everything's going on okay with him and the family.
Yeah,
And hopefully we get to see him the 1A somewhere in the pits again soon. Hopefully I can share a couple fridge cigs with him in the pits one
yeah.
of these days. Hopefully, hopefully sooner rather than later. But
Yeah.
I'll keep those fridge cigs cold for you, Jacob.
Yeah, for sure. I think it is a lot of it's a combination, I think, of a lot of things. I know when it first came out, when we were talking, texting back and forth, I said, I think, it might be more of a financial thing for this decision than anything.
Yeah,
But they've, like Jacob talked about in his interview, they always ran on a tight budget.
yeah,
They were running the minimum, like just getting by. And like Jacob said, his goal for this year was just to make it to the end,
yeah.
make it to Charlotte and be there. But yeah, like you said, really, I hope everything's going good with Jacob. I hope he's okay, and hopefully we do get to see him one day and share some stories, share some laughs. But yeah, so it was Jacob hasn't made a statement himself yet about it, but his sister did post to social media on the situation from the Shark Racing page, and I'll read her quote here. So, quote, there's been a lot of talk on social media today, so let's clear a few things up. My brother has made the decision to park his team, the 1A for now. The decision comes from real life loss, from responsibility, and navigating something no one is ever truly prepared for. This is not the end. There has been no talk of selling, and anyone saying otherwise is simply wrong. Our dad built something incredible. He gave my brother and my son an amazing opportunity, and together they built Shark Racing. That legacy isn't going anywhere. Everybody handles grief differently. Social media doesn't always show the weight people are carrying behind the scenes. We're a family first, always have been, always will be. Not everything needs to be debated or decided from the outside. End quote. So, reading that, it definitely seems like maybe Jacob's maybe struggling a little bit with what understandably the loss of his dad, and still trying to keep this team afloat and
Yep.
going to carry on the legacy. And like we were saying, sprint car racing and racing in general takes a lot of money. And when you're running on a smaller budget, it can be hard. So, I hope that, like they said in the post, the 1A is not going away. The 1A will be back at some point. When that is, we don't know, but I'm going to be real happy when I get to see it roll back into a pit area again.
I couldn't agree more, man. It's a classic car, a amazing racing family, and hopefully we do get to see him rather sooner rather than later. But the racing world goes on, but they'll be in our thoughts till then.
Yeah, for sure. So continuing on, stemming from this, obviously Ashton is out of a ride. So this happens on, I believe the announcement came out Tuesday or Wednesday. So, and Ashton put that post out saying, looking for an opportunity, a ride, something for this weekend or for the season. He wants to continue. So he's found that. Excuse me. Ashton finds a ride for this weekend at Williams Grove via Kyle Moody Motorsports, the 99 car. They're going to field a car for Ashton, which, you love to see that, he was able to find something and try and continue this Rookie of the Year campaign.
Yeah, it's good to see the kind of a local guy, Kyle Moody, be able to. I don't know if he just gave the car up to Ashton or if they're going to run two cars. I'm not sure. I haven't been able
Yeah,
to look
not
into that, but
100% sure.
it's a sharp looking car, black and orange.
Yeah,
One of my favorite colors is orange, so it'll be good
yeah,
to see that car. Hopefully, he can run well, and maybe a little change of scenery can be good for him.
yeah,
Part of me thinks that maybe if the Scotty Field deal ended after this, if they would have maybe preferred to bring Ashton on and drive
yeah.
for that team, but who knows what could happen.
No,
Like you said, the easiest four bolts to undo are the seats. Who
yeah,
knows what could happen by the end of the weekend, man?
yeah,
It's silly season when we're in May, so we'll see what
yeah, yeah,
happens by the end of this weekend. The Grove likes to eat people, so
yeah.
who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
Yeah, it's good to see Ashton, land a ride for this weekend, and hopefully he can continue to either piece together rides or find something a little more full time for the tour. But we wish him nothing but luck as well this season. He's a talented young race car driver that's
Yep.
just trying to follow his dream.
Yep.
and you want to see them be able to try and achieve that. So, we're gonna get into different something a little different. We haven't done yet this year, but we had a segment before on the podcast called Rip Run the Top or Rip the Lip or something. We called it like that. It was a timed event. But anyways, we're gonna try something different now this season. We're gonna have a draft, like the NFL. Cue the NFL draft music. We're gonna have a draft. Our top 4 sprint car driver nicknames. So we're each gonna pick. We're gonna go back and forth, and we're gonna compile a list, and then we're gonna have you guys, the fans, vote on who's gonna win the draft. So, Shawn, I hadn't told you this yet, but I'm gonna let you go first as the new
Oh,
guy here.
wow.
You're gonna
Thank
get
you.
shot number 1.
All
I hope
right.
you wrote a list. I got a list of
I
nicknames.
I got a
So,
list. I got a list. I got a
okay,
list about
okay,
10 or 12 guys here.
okay. So I think
I hope you
it
don't
should be
steal any of
good.
mine.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Uh, this is
So
tough.
yeah. So sprint car driver nicknames. We're each picking 4. Shawn's gonna go first, then I'll go. But Shawn, you have the floor. Who is your first overall best nickname ever?
Okay. With the first overall pick, Shawn Winger decides to select the wild child, Jack
Ooh,
Shield.
that's a good one. That is a good one. I had that on the list.
Yeah, I figured you would.
That's a strong pick out the gate. That is a strong pick out the gate. Um, okay. So with the first overall pick for Team Beef in the 2026 nickname draft, I'm gonna go with Double Down Jason Sides is my first
Nice.
pick.
All right. Very nice. Good pick. Good pick. With my second pick, I am going to go with, we're going to go the North Pole Nightmare, Bill Baylog.
Good one too. That's a good one too. Okay, you're getting the pressure's on here.
Yep.
Okay, but my second pick in the draft, a guy that was very synonymous with sprint car racing. He has passed away, rest in peace. But I am taking the Raging Cajun, Jason Johnson.
Great pick. That was on my list, and I was hoping he'd be around for the third pick, but great pick. This is tough here. Let's see. You know what? Gonna go with the third pick. Gonna go with my favorite high limit driver, Hot Sauce, Gio Celsi.
Hot sauce. Okay, yeah, that's another good one. Oh, okay. Who do I go with?
You gotta go. You gotta have a good one here because I think my 3 picks are gonna crush so far.
Oh, you're calling it a runaway already?
I'm calling a runaway. We'll see it in my fourth pick.
Oh my god. Okay, with my third pick in the nicknames draft, I'm gonna go with Knoxville feature winner, the Big Cat, Brad Sweet.
Great pick. He's on the list too. All right, with my fourth and final pick.
Who are you gonna leave on the table for me?
Oh man, there's a couple here that I've got that I'm gonna go with. One of the best drivers to get behind the wheel of any race car, Young Money, Kyle Larson.
Oh, that was one I was debating.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, with the final pick of the draft, who do I go with? I haven't really taken too many newer guys. All my guys have been older guys. So I'm gonna pick maybe a little bit of a newer guy. Give me Sunshine Tyler Courtney in the 7BC.
That's on the list too. Great pick.
That is my final pick.
All right. I like that. It's a good list.
So let's run her down one more time. So go through your 4.
All right. My first pick was the Wild Child, Jack Shield. Second pick was the North Pole Nightmare, Bill Baylog. Third pick was Hot Sauce, Gio Celsi. And the fourth pick was Young Money, Kyle Larson.
And my four picks. My first one was Double Down Jason Sides. Second one was the Raging Cajun Jason Johnson. Third pick was the Big Cat Brad Sweet, and my final pick to round the draft out was Sunshine Tyler Courtney. I'm gonna put some graphics together, get them posted up, and you guys are gonna decide. But you can also comment down below who you think won the draft. We'll probably do a couple more of these different topics. I think they're fun to do, and it gives us something a segment, something to talk about.
I gotta shout out one local guy.
Okay.
I was told that this is the one that a certain someone likes was No Panic, Davey Franick.
No
Shout out
panic,
No
Davey.
Panic, Davey Franick, local
That's
guy, not so local, but likes to come up to Oswego and run pretty good. So
that's
shout
pretty
out
good.
Davey Franick.
Nice. That's a good Dave Frank. That's a good nickname too. Well, I think that does it for this episode. As always, thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. Comment down below, give some feedback on what you liked, what you didn't like. Give us your 2 cents on things. Tell us that we're complete idiots for what we're talking about. But
Love it.
um you can all you can subscribe here to the YouTube channel for the podcast. Make sure you hit the bell so you get notified when we post a new podcast. You can follow the Dirt Beers Instagram at dirt.beers on Instagram, 2 posts a week. You can follow me personally on my Instagram at the_beef_. Sean, where can everybody follow you?
You follow me, Shawn Winger 24 on the Insta. Yeah, send me a follow. I like to share Corby stuff, so
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, feel free to DM either of us or the page or whatever if you got questions or something you want us to talk about. We're always open to getting feedback on the show.
even
So
some more segments you guys like to
yeah,
hear, some stuff
yeah,
you want us to talk about, anything we're open to it.
yeah.
Anything.
Um, but and also I want to say, if you have a business or a local business, and you want to sponsor the podcast, we would love that. We'll wear your merch. We'll do ad reads for you. Have your logo up here on the screen during the podcast. Just reach out to us and we can work a deal out. But other than that, do you got any closing comments, Sean?
Nothing, man. Let's just get into a
Uh,
couple more dirt beers here. We got the Outlaws
yeah,
probably starting off here and
real
very,
soon.
very
Yeah,
soon. So I think
yeah.
we'll probably sign off here and flip that on.
Yeah, that's for sure. Okay, it's been another episode of the Dirt Beers podcast. We'll catch you in the next one.